best comedians in Beijing in one night. Plus there's champagne.
Good evening, everyone.
Is my hair okay?
And I'm Paul Creasy. How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Make some noise.
All right, welcome to Hot Cat Club. We get bored halfway through. There's a dance.
What I like about the stand-up scene in Beijing, it is very, very multicultural.
I think the stand-up scene in Beijing is awesome.
I've seen kind of the evolution of the stand-up scene from like a few guys doing the thing every Wednesday night to kind of a brand like Comedy Club China is now a growing brand.
Oh, it's gotten so much bigger than it was.
Stand-up has gotten bigger. It's gotten bigger, it's attracted more people, it's becoming a scene now.
I think having a comedy group in Beijing really creates kind of it creates more of a community.
Comedy open mic night is an open mic, which means that anyone can perform if they sign up in advance.
It's, with few exceptions, most of the comedians that you're going to see tonight got their start telling jokes right here. They started because they were sitting in the audience, where you're sitting right now, and they watched the show, and they thought, I'm funnier than these assholes, I could probably do this, and then they got on stage and they did it.
She wears an entire country's GDP.
This is crazy.
That is crazy. I'm not liking the morning DJ approach that Riley is taking this evening. Just,
So if that's you, if that's what you're thinking tonight, then, well, A, fuck you, you're not funnier than me. But also, if you insist, come talk to me afterwards and we'll put you on the list. It'll be fine.
If you want to come out and have a good time on a Wednesday, or a Sunday, or any day, you should probably come to comedy. That's a thing that you should do.
What do you think about stand-up in China?
It's as good as it's probably.
It's like new Roleon. We get some new Roleon, that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? New Roleon?
Invented the nigga joke. You know the joke I'm talking about, right?
What do your parents think about you doing stand-up?
They don't know.
Yeah, stand-up in Chinese and stand-up in English, they feel really different.
If I tell them I do something like art or something like this, they feel I will starving.
So like Chinese people, if they think something's funny, they're like, I'm just going to sit here and look straight at you and not laugh. And then I'm not going to laugh at your next joke either, just to show you I was upset by the first joke.
In my sister's words, she said, oh, you can do stand-up because you already have the twisted value, something like this.
You know, I mean, to be honest, that's just the difference that I knew about already, because that's just like doing gigs in like an expat scene always has a couple of unique points. Like expats tend to like jokes about the experience that they're having.
Yeah, exactly.
In the past, none of these cities had local comedy scenes. So you get like some British headliner, some American headliner, come to Hong Kong, come to Beijing, spend 2 days here and just like do the basic things that he sees, spitting, crouching, toilets, whatever. And then everybody be like, oh my God, that's so what I'm experiencing.
It's so many of these jokes, I don't know if they're ever going to translate back in America, because you know we live in China and there's so much absurd here that it works for a foreigner, but so a lot of comedians naturally make jokes about living in China.
you know, have you checked out any Beijing hip-hop? No. Ming Sao no one check it out? Shit is good, y'all. I can't understand it, but it's so easy to rhyme in Chinese. It's like fucking 7 sounds. You know you're fucking banging,
But two disadvantages to starting a comedy career in Beijing is the audience is very small, so the feeling that your material has been done too often happens way too fast. Like you're only doing comedy 2 months and you're talking about old material. Like no comedian that's doing it less than a year and a half should discuss the concept of old material. And then I guess your second disadvantage is that like all that stuff that you and your friends think is funny when you joke with each other about Beijing, it's kind of all been done already.
You know, when I first started doing it, it felt like kind of a mixed bag, you know, because it's open mic, so you never know what you're going to get. But recently, I don't know, I feel like it's been getting better.
It's fun. Like, anybody who has enough courage to go on stage and do something like that, I would be interested in talking to that kind of person. So, yeah, I hope there's more in the future. I'm glad that the open mic scene is growing.
So now it's like an hour and a half of actually decent entertainment. It's a fun thing to do on a Wednesday night, and there's nothing else to do.
The good thing about it is that even if you're not laughing, you'll have so much Tiger beer that everything will seem funny.
I was crying with laughter.
Yeah, I found it very funny.
I mean, what I would say is, sit back and enjoy the show. They love you just as much as you love them.
Take me into the danger, and I will not die.
That was really fun. I left him up. I enjoyed that.
Take this down to where the streets are cold and nameless.
What do you think about the Ukraine situation?
Just be sure to watch your back, 'cause they will find you and attack you.
Why do you hate comedy? You really have. I mean, everybody likes to laugh. This is a thing. Who would hate comedy? I'm trying to think of the type of person who would hate comedy. They're like, comedy killed my grandfather. Like he laughed himself to death or something like that. And then ever since then, I've just been. But that's inherently funny already.
I remember the first time
he became a vegetarian.
I went to school. I remember my first kiss. I also remember the first time that I masturbated.
Becoming a vegetarian.
I didn't know how to masturbate. MTV Spring Break was on. Some kids were talking about masturbating on the bus, and I wanted to try it. So I whip out my dick.
And then he heard
and then I start rubbing, like with just my two thumbs, like rubbing the head of my dick with my two thumbs.
Chicken were far lower than red meat.
And it didn't work. Maybe this joke isn't working.
I was not ready. Luckily, I was not ready.
I basically woof, 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 woof. And then I say, like, you wouldn't heckle a puppy, would you? And then they usually stop. They usually stop.